Hello, everyone. This is Mike from Dimensional Walking. And today I'm going to do part three of a three-part series that deals with alien beings and three people that I believe got very close to understanding what's in the alien mind. Okay? So, first two parts, one was Whitley Strieber, and part two was Steven Spielberg. And part three is Jacques Vallee. Okay? For you folks out there that don't know of Jacques Vallee, I think he's one of the most incredible brainy person there is in many ways. Let me give you a couple of examples here. First of all, let me spell his name. So, because I think you're going to want to go maybe look up a little more information about him in the end. I'm hoping I motivate you that much to do that. Or you may want to look up a couple of his books because he's really good. So his name is Jacques. He's a Frenchman. So it's Jacques. And last name is Vallee, Vallee. Okay? So, as I said, he has an extraordinary mind. He has degrees in mathematics, Master of Science in Astrophysics, and a PhD in Computer Science. Okay? So at the age of 16, he basically saw his first UFO on his property in France, at his parents' property. I don't think he owned it at 16, but his parents' property in France. In his 20s, he witnessed tapes of unknown objects that were orbiting the Earth. Now, you got to remember, when he was young in his 20s, he was working for some government agencies, so he had access to some of these very top secret tapes, apparently, of UFOs that were floating around the Earth, or were flying around the Earth, I guess. Between 1965 and 1992, he wrote 9 books that were related to UFOs and aliens and the human psyche. So he already was trying to get into the mind of people in their relationship and what they thought about UFOs and aliens, and he also wanted to get into the minds possibly of the aliens from his own personal experience and encounters. So here's some of his thoughts. Okay, this is what I believe is really important. Jacques feels that there is a genuine UFO phenomena. He believes these non-human entities are manipulating our space and our time. He basically kind of looks at it as a game of deception with the human witnesses. Okay. He also calls them mind beings. And I believe he does this because he feels that they get inside your mind and they can manipulate your mind. They can change it. They can maybe make you see things that don't exist in this reality, anyways. And he said they come in various shapes. These mind beings are aliens. They come in various shapes, forms. They present themselves differently to different cultures around the world. But he keeps on stating that they've been among us, and they've been among us for a very long time. Okay. And the motivation behind the deception to him was still, at this point, was still unknown. He doesn't really know why, but he believes the purpose is for some type of major changes that are directed at human society. And he downplays any role of the government in this deception. But he does feel that there could be government involvement, of course, but for some unknown purpose in the he calls the mind beings endgame. He believes that the government is involved, but they are being manipulated also to be part of this end game, whatever this end game is. So, in the first couple books that Jacques Vallee wrote, his hypothesis of aliens were that they did come on ships from far away. Okay, but during the late 60s, he changed. His opinion changed. So, and he said it was too narrow. He said his thought about them coming and traveling in ships from other distant places was too narrow of a concept. And because he was starting to see that UFOs, cults, religious movements, angels, ghosts, and strange creatures, even such as Bigfoot, were psychic happenings. And so then Vallee put a thought out there that he suggested that these were multiple dimensional visitations. And beings could be from anywheres, and he thought they could be from anywheres, through any type of movement, and maybe they're just strictly from here. Maybe they're just on Earth. Maybe this whole phenomenon is just here on Earth. And I think because he was talking about the deception and the minds and the way they start manipulating people. So this whole concept, this whole new concept in the 60s and the early 70s that he started going with, really flew in the face of conventional mainstream UFO folks. Okay? And so he referred to himself as the heretic among heretics. So he wasn't being too he was being truthful about himself, but he wasn't he was looking and kind of pushing back against the other mainstream UFO people, calling them heretics. So there's five things that he felt the term space visitor, that term was incorrect. And I'm going to kind of read these to you because I haven't memorized them, but I thought they're pretty good, and I think you'll enjoy it. First, number one, too many close encounters were recorded, many more than would have been needed for the aliens to do a physical survey of the planet. So he's saying there's too many people seeing UFOs, and they didn't need to have all these visitations or all these sightings by witnesses if they were just going ahead and doing some surveys, going there taking plants or even specimens from humans. It was way too many. It was happening too often. That was his thought, which makes sense, actually. UFOs have apparent ability to manipulate space and time, suggesting a deeper science and richer alternatives. Okay? So it wasn't just their ships coming and maybe abducting people, etc. There was really this space and time factor that he believed was really important. Okay? And he believed that it was deeper and deeper and deeper than we initially thought, or which than the UFO mainstream in the 50s and 60s anyways thought. I think now they've come across that there's more stuff out there. There's more understanding of what's out there right now than what we thought originally. Number three, this phenomenon has been seen throughout recorded history, demonstrating that UFOs are not recent fly-in events, such as Roswell. I mean, I think there was many people that kind of put all their credence on Roswell, and that, okay, that may have been one of the first events, or even when the UFOs were sighted on Mount Rainier, fly by there. That I think everybody kind of thought that is maybe the beginning, but no, it's been happening for a very, very, very long time, in various degrees. Number four, the reported behavior in 1,000 abductee reports contradicts the hypothesis of genetic or scientific experimentation on humans by advanced races. Well, I kind of differ a little bit there. I think a lot of these abduction reports are probably true, and they probably are, taking things or extracting things from us. And I think it is a pretty important part of the whole phenomena. I really do. He feels differently, and he's a smart guy, so I respect that opinion. Okay, number 5, the human body structure is of the alleged aliens is not likely to be originated on another planet because it is not biologically suited for space travel, which is true. I think we are going to have one heck of a time if we go beyond Mars. I think we're probably good. We can probably survive to Mars. We've been on the moon. We know that we can survive, and that, of course, isn't that far as space goes, distance-wise. But beyond that, I don't think we can travel at the speeds that we need to, and our bodies will probably not be able to exist. That's probably why some of the aliens that we have seen, especially some of the grays, first of all, are probably clones, or maybe robotic. Basically look quite a bit different than humans do. So some of them are very small and pretty fragile looking, actually. But I think the regular human shape of some of these other aliens, maybe like the Palladians, probably, who knows, may not actually exist. And it could be the deception. It could be part of this whole deception he talks about. I don't personally agree with all that Jacques Vallee says, but he is a great thinker and a true Renaissance man. And I really do feel he's gotten into the minds of humans and gotten into the minds of aliens, and possibly some of the really fresh theories about the reasons they're here and maybe the reasons why we're here. Anyways, I really believe, I want to stress to you, if you haven't heard of Jacques Vallee and you haven't read any of his books, please do. If you're serious and you want to dig deeper into the subject matter of ufology and aliens, I think he's really great, and I highly recommended it. I will put 2 links on there for part 1 and part 2 if you haven't seen those 2 parts yet. I hope you do. We need your comments. We need your likes. We need your subscriptions. If you want to send us a private email, you can send it to dimensionalwalking@gmail.com. Thank you, and have a great day, great rest of your day. We'll see you. Bye-bye.